There are 5 trucks driving on Australian roads right now with over 1 million miles on the odometer. Not kilometres, miles. The same engine, the same gearbox, the same chassis that left the factory decades ago is still pulling loads, crossing the Nullarbor, and embarrassing every new ute sitting in a dealership lot with a 5-year warranty and a turbocharged engine that engineers privately know will not survive to see its 10th birthday. The manufacturers do not want you to know these trucks exist, and today we are going to name every single one of them. Hi, my name is Arthur and this is Broken Australia. This channel exists because somebody has to say what the dealerships, the builders and the appliance brands are spending millions of dollars to stop you from finding out. Every week we pull apart the products Australians are spending their hard-earned money on and show you exactly what is failing, why it is failing, and the few things still worth buying. If that sounds like your kind of show, stick around. It is about to get uncomfortable for some very large companies. The golden era, when trucks were built to last. Cast your mind back to 1975. A Toyota Land Cruiser leaves a dealership in Cairns. The owner is a cane farmer. He does not have a fleet account, a corporate lease, or a manufacturer service plan. He has a checkbook and a property to run. That truck needs to work, not for 3 years, not for the length of a finance term, for decades. And it did. The engines being built through the 1970s and into the 1980s were not engineered to a price point. They were engineered to a task. Thick cast iron blocks. Simple, naturally aspirated architecture. Mechanical injection systems. A bush mechanic could rebuild on the side of a dirt road with tools from a $20 kit. Then the 1990s arrived, then private equity arrived, then the quarterly earnings report arrived, and the truck that used to be built for the farmer in Cairns started being built for the finance department in Tokyo, Stuttgart, and Detroit. The farmer just did not know it yet. What the industry did to kill longevity. Here is what changed and why it matters to your wallet. Modern truck manufacturers made 3 decisions that guaranteed your vehicle would not reach the mileage the trucks on this list reached. First, they adopted turbocharged direct injection as the default powertrain across almost every model line. Small displacement, big power numbers on the brochure, catastrophic carbon buildup on the intake valves by 60,000 kilometers. The walnut blasting service to fix it cost between $500 and $1,000. It is classified as a maintenance item, not a defect. They knew this before the truck left the factory. They said nothing. Second, they introduced active cylinder management systems, technology that deactivates cylinders under light load to chase fuel economy numbers on a government sticker. The lifters that system relies on fail at around 130,000 kilometers on a documented, repeatable pattern. The repair is $12,000. The warranty is long gone. Third, they sealed and complicated everything that used to be simple. Transfer cases, differentials, and gearboxes that a competent mechanic used to service with basic equipment now require proprietary tools, dealer-level software, and parts on a 12-week backorder from overseas. The truck you are buying today was designed to last the warranty. The trucks on this list were designed to last a lifetime. The million-mile standard, what it actually takes. 1 million miles is 1.6 million kilometers. Let that number sit for a moment. The average Australian drives around 15,000 kilometers per year. To reach 1 million miles, a truck would need to operate continuously for over 100 years at that rate. The trucks on this list got there faster because they worked harder. Station runs, mining access roads, outback freight. These are not weekend vehicles garaged between school pickups. To reach that distance, an engine needs a cast iron or forged steel architecture that does not fatigue. It needs an injection system that does not carbon foul. It needs a cooling system overbuilt for its displacement, and a gearbox designed with service intervals in mind rather than sealed for life marketing language. Every truck on this list has all of those things. Almost nothing sold in a showroom today does. Number 5, the Nissan Patrol GQ, 4.2-litre inline-6 petrol. The GQ Patrol is the truck that Australians in genuine remote country have trusted since 1988, and for good reason. The 4.2-litre TB42 engine is a cast iron, naturally aspirated inline-6 that was overbuilt for its application from day one. No turbo, No direct injection, no active cylinder deactivation, just displacement doing what displacement does. Patrol owners across the Northern Territory and Western Australia have documented TB42 engines crossing the 1 million mile mark with nothing more than regular oil changes, the occasional head gasket, and the kind of mechanical sympathy you develop when the nearest town is 300 kilometers behind you. The GQ is not glamorous. The interior is basically a plastic box with seats in it. I once saw one with a handwritten label on the dashboard that said, "Aircon broken, open window." It had 300,000 kilometers on it, and the owner looked completely unbothered. That is the GQ Patrol experience in a nutshell. Number 4. The Toyota Hilux 2.4-litre diesel 1983 to 1997. There is a reason this generation of Hilux became the unofficial vehicle of every farming family, aid organisation and overland expedition between Darwin and Cape Town. The 2L and 2LT diesel engines in this era of Hilux are among the most reliable powertrains ever fitted to a light commercial vehicle anywhere on Earth. Simple pre-chamber diesel injection, timing chains instead of belts on the critical variants, a cooling system so conservatively rated that these engines run cool in conditions that would destroy a modern twin turbo. Hilux trucks from this generation are still actively working on cattle properties across Queensland with odometers that stopped being relevant around the time John Howard was first elected Prime Minister. The catch, and there is always a catch, is that finding a clean example is getting harder. The good ones have been discovered. Buy one that has not been modified beyond recognition, and you are buying a truck that will outlast your mortgage, your children's first car, and possibly your retirement. Number 3. The Land Rover Defender 2.5-litre 5-cylinder diesel from 1990 to 2016. Yes, I know. Land Rover's reliability reputation in Australia is approximately the same as a chocolate teapot in the Simpson Desert. But hear me out. The TD5 and the older 200 and 300 TDI variants in the Defender earned their 1 million mile credentials, not because they are sophisticated, but because they are so magnificently simple that any competent mechanic on Earth can fix them with parts that cost less than a dinner at a mid-range restaurant. The Defenders that reached 1 million miles did so in the hands of owners who treated maintenance as religion. The engine is not the weak point. The electrics, the seals, and the fact that Land Rover apparently hired someone's nephew to design the water management system, those are the weak points. Address those, and the drivetrain underneath is genuinely indestructible. Number 2, the Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series 4.2-litre diesel. This truck is still in production. Let that sink in for a second. Toyota has been selling a version of the 70 Series since 1984. Think about that. While every other manufacturer abandoned the honest body-on-frame, live axle work truck in favour of lifestyle SUVs with panoramic sunroofs and 12-inch touchscreens, Australian buyers refused to let this one die. Toyota kept building it because Australians kept buying it. And Australians kept buying it because it kept working. The 1HC and later the 1HD FTE diesel engines are the backbone of this country's agricultural and resource sectors, not a marketing claim. An operational reality, mine sites in the Pilbara, pastoral stations across the Channel Country, emergency services in remote communities that cannot afford a vehicle sitting in a workshop waiting on a back-ordered sensor from overseas. They all run the 70 Series. Because when you are 4 hours from the nearest town with a mechanic, you cannot afford an engine management fault code at kilometre 90,000. Documented 1 million kilometre 70 Series trucks exist across Australia. Some of them are still working today, still earning, still crossing the same dirt roads they crossed 30 years ago. The engine does not care about the odometer. That is the entire point. Number 1. The Toyota Land Cruiser 80 Series 4.2-litre inline-6 diesel 1HDZ engine. This is the one. This is the truck that mining contractors, outback tour operators, and people who genuinely understand vehicle engineering point to when someone asks what the benchmark looks like. The 1HDZ is a naturally aspirated cast iron indirect injection inline-six diesel engine that was engineered for commercial truck service and fitted into a passenger four-wheel drive by mistake. It feels that way when you look at how absurdly overbuilt it is for its application. 80 series Land Cruisers with documented odometer histories crossing 1.6 million kilometres exist in Australia. The owners are not surprised, they are slightly annoyed that everyone keeps asking about it when they are trying to get on with the day. If you can find a genuine, unmodified, properly serviced 80 series with a 1HDZ, you are not buying an old truck. You are buying the last honest machine Toyota built before the accountants got to the engine specifications. The rule. Here is what every experienced bush mechanic, fleet manager, and outback operator knows that the dealership will never tell you. Avoid turbos, avoid direct injection, avoid anything with a sealed gearbox and a 12-week parts lead time. Every truck on this list shares three things: a naturally aspirated or conservatively turbocharged engine with indirect injection, a drivetrain architecture that was overbuilt for its application, and parts availability that does not require a dealer login or a credit card with a high limit. The manufacturers selling you a twin-turbo, direct-injected, 9-speed automatic with active cylinder management are not building the next million-mile truck. They are building the next service department revenue stream. The badge on the grille is a marketing decision. The injection system is what you are actually buying. If this saved you from walking into a dealership and spending $60,000 on a truck that will cost you another $20,000 in the first 150,000 kilometers, do me a favor and subscribe. Next week on Broken Australia, we go inside the Australian new home construction industry. We will look at the building material that is rotting behind the walls of nearly every home built after 2005, the warranty that was written by lawyers to protect the builder and not you, and the one inspection that costs $400 and could save you $80,000. You are going to want to see that one too.